This is going to be a video, but I'm just going to do like a quick summary here. I really want to talk about this, taking what resonates in tarot readings. A lot of readers say at the beginning of their readings, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And a lot of people tend to look at that once they really get into tarot as, if the energy doesn't match to your situation, then don't accept it. And it's more in a negative sense, like, oh, that's not about me, or that doesn't sound like me. Oh, so I'm not supposed to accept that energy because it's not my energy. People only tend to look at that in the negative way. And there's also a positive side to that, where people will watch these videos and some things resonate, but other things don't resonate. And these are good things that don't resonate, but people claim these things, which then creates another issue, which we're about to discuss that in the next one. With my most recent spiritual awakening, I tend to look at things differently now, like from different dimensions or from different states of consciousness. So when it comes to people watching collective readings and different readings on YouTube or any other platform, them taking things that do not resonate within their current reality can cause a little confusion. And I feel like that is what ties into what looks like mental instability in some divine feminines and divine masculines as they ascend, because they're claiming energy. And it's okay to claim energy to manifest it, but when you get to the point of believing an energy is yours and you haven't even gotten 2% of the way to awaken to that point, it kind of like it makes you aware of that state of consciousness that you have, but you're not there yet. And that in itself causes a lot of confusion and miscommunication, and not just the tarot community, but the spiritual community as well. And I want to go that far in this supposed to be summary, but it's kind of similar for readers. If you really think about it, if a reader is like in one state of consciousness, let's say, like, I want to use numbers to make it easier, from 3 to 6. We're just going to go 3 to 6. 3 being material, 6 being full ascension, even though I know that's not true. We're just using that. Let's say someone in the like third dimensional energy is doing a reading. So they don't really know about the spiritual realm, but they're bringing up divine feminine, divine masculine. If they're saying that their audience is thinking that they're a divine feminine or divine masculine, and they start attaching to that energy, but it's it's 3D consciousness, three-dimensional energy. So I really feel like this might just be saying like an easier way to say how I'm viewing things and try to open other people's eyes to the different states of different levels of consciousness, the different dimensions and stuff, because it can really make or break a reading or different downloads you're getting. I see a lot of spiritualists now where they'll say certain stuff like, oh, my neighbor is doing spell work on me, type of shit. And it makes them sound crazy, but in reality, it's like they're in, like, let's say they're in 4D energy, but they're picking up on 6D things that are happening behind the scenes. So their neighbor might not even be aware of what's really going on. Try to follow me on this. So let's say a person says that their neighbor was doing some type of spell work, or they're working with Masonic cults or something like that. If they feel negative energy coming from their neighbor, and their neighbor just is like calling the police on them because they seem crazy, or like some type of wellness check or some shit like that. I've seen it happen a lot in the spiritual community. This neighbor is a karmic, or this neighbor is living a life doing karmic shit so much to the point where karmic energy can easily attach to that person and use that person. So their actions will come off. Whatever that person does to the empath, the spiritualist, they're gonna pick up on it as like some malicious intent. And the more awakened that person is, the more tapped in that person is, even if they're not aware of how tapped in even if this person is just not aware of how awakened they are, they're going to be picking up on malicious energy, because what they say, the battle is not spiritual. I mean, it's not physical, it's spiritual. So an empath that's highly tapped in but not awakened to how tapped in they are could be picking up on, like, oh, it's spell work, or oh, it's this, or oh, it's that. But really what it is an energy inside of that person that they're talking about that is energetically doing something. Like, it could just be sending evil eye, it could just be a nasty energy that the empath is picking up on. Whatever it is, this person is picking up on this from different levels of consciousness, but we don't talk about levels of consciousness, so a lot of people aren't aware they're not completely aware of what's going on. They have part of the story. So I would like to say, like, this is not the full story, but this is just adding in missing pieces. We need to be aware of what states of consciousness we're in, what states of consciousness we're picking up certain energy from. And that's what I had to learn recently. Like, I would walk into, or right after my awakening, I would walk into a room and I would start picking up on different energies from that room, like different thought patterns I've had. And it was almost like, when it first happened, it was almost like they were layered. And I'm like, what is going on? And it was nothing but me going into that room. And I was like, let's just say I'm one dot, and a dot walks into this one room. And when I do, it's like it sends off, like, I pick up signals from multiple locations that's linked to one person. So these are all thought process or things I've said, but from different states of consciousness and different time frames. It cut me off. But yeah, it is definitely important to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But it's also very important to be on your spiritual journey and get to know your spirit guides better, get to know God better, get to know yourself better, so that you can navigate this journey easily. A lot of spiritualists like a lot of us spiritualists, old, really old souls, and people who have been doing this for a long time. A lot of us have ran into issues in regards to trying to figure out certain stuff, and it's because it's our minds, our antennas. We sense a lot of shit. We're picking up on a lot of shit, but we just weren't sure which, like, energy set it belonged to, or which level of consciousness it belonged to.